I don't want to market, I just want to serve. Is there any way of having a flow of consistent clients without having to spread myself across social media? Okay, this is a really great question, because here's what's happening, kind of similar to what we were just talking about with this whole, you've been taught to just go into a bunch of groups and spray and pray, or hashtag spray and pray, and just get some friends and add some people, and this should all be working. And guess what? It's not working. You're tired. You're tired, you're exhausted, it's not congruent for you, you're feeling inauthentic. And really what you want to do more of is you want to be in a space of service, because this is where you shine. But you can't shine unless you're on your own stage. And the problem with constantly going out into other Facebook groups or hashtags is that you're going out instead of, so that's kind of like the get clients, you're going out instead of bringing them in. So to make things more efficient and effective and convert for you so that you can do more of what you love to do, which is stand in your space and shine and serve and be with people that are on your wavelength and that genuinely resonate with your message, so that there's not a selling process there. There's a connection process. The sales naturally come through connection. So if you want to have more of that, instead of constantly going out, you want to learn how you bring them in. And so it's really wise to understand that your social media profile is what I like to call your very own school hall. Now, this can be your profile, or if you've got a Facebook group. But basically what you're looking to do is you're looking to have the people come to you where you are just constantly in the one spot, rather than going out, spraying and praying, multiple different approaches, guessing, hoping, praying, wishing, and nothing's really happening. So rather than you going out all the time, you want to learn how do you bring them in so that you stand in your power, in your space, and they are empowered to come in and hang out with you and hear your message and convert to clients. So whether it's your personal profile on a platform or if you've got a Facebook group, the same principles apply here that I'm about to share with you, which is this. Your profile or your Facebook group is that of your very own school hall. It's an organic funnel that we're looking at here, basically. And you want to be really clear on what are all the roads that people might be on, the way that they access you to get to your stop, your school hall. Because once you get everybody that you can inside of your school hall, you're like the teacher on the stage, the educator, the mentor. Every time you're sharing content, you are on stage shining. And all of those individuals that are either on your profile or in your Facebook group are what we could label for the purpose of this conversation, they are your students. So every time you speak and share a message, they are there to hear it instead of you having to constantly go out. So you want to identify what are all the potential roads that these people come to my hall. Now, for example, some of those roads might be your website, if you've got a website. It might be that you have a podcast. It might be, if you're an expert, a counselor, a therapist, or something of that nature, you might be on a directory, listed on directories somewhere, and they're finding you through that pathway. So these are all the different roads, but you want to make sure that all of those roads lead to the one destination where you want to be consistently. So instead of having to share social media content on all the different platforms and constantly going out and connecting, you want to identify what are all the different roads that they drive on and make sure those roads lead to the one spot. So if you've got an email list, again, where is the call to action leading them? So I choose my profile and my Facebook group. You want to identify where is your school hall that you want to be on stage speaking and shining that converts to clients, because only the people that resonate with your message are going to come forward. And so then you want to make sure you've got all of your elements set up for those roads that you can just rinse and repeat in a really connected way, not a slammy, spammy, copy-paste rubbish way. So that when people get in their car at the entry point, they get in their car and the road leads to you, instead of you having to constantly be out recreating in order to connect. Then that way you're doing less outbound and you're just in your space shining and sharing your message. Now, there's always going to be an element of outbound, yes. That element might be Facebook ads, that element might be your website, that element might be your podcast, whatever it is. But you want to make sure that all of those roads, when you're out there, are actually driving everybody back to the one spot, so that the main activity that you're doing, all of your people are inside of that hall, so that it's more efficient for you and it actually is more effective, because now they're constantly hearing what you've got to say and connecting and converting consistently. Because remember, people sometimes take 10 to 20 touch points before they convert to a client for you. So, and then they're not seeing the same, every time you share something, they're not necessarily seeing every piece of content that you put out, the email, the content, the podcast. They don't see it all. So you want to get it all in your school hall and share it out that way, so that you maximize reach and maximize conversion. So it's more inbound, less outbound, more energy, more service, more shining, less depletion, less, uninspired activity.